Today is Groundhog Day throughout North America. How accurate are Punxsutawney Phil's Groundhog Day forecasts? Well, it turns out they're not very accurate. According to Live Science, crowds showed up this morning to watch as Punxsutawney Phil came out of his burrow only to see his shadow on February 2nd. 2222 is today. As the legend has it, it means 6 more weeks of winter weather. This is Phil, the Groundhogs, has been forecasting the weather on Groundhog Day for more than 120 years, but just how good is he at this job? It turns out not very good. Punxsutawney Phil was first tasked with predicting the upcoming spring weather in 1887. This process has not changed much since. The Punxsutawney Groundhog Club of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, takes care of Phil year-round, and on each February 2nd, members of the club's inner circle wake up Phil at sunrise. This morning, they wakened him at 7:25 a.m. to see if he casts a shadow. Contrary to popular belief, Phil does not actually have to see his shadow. He just has to cast one to make his wintry prophecy. Now, according to the Groundhog Club records, the various incarnations of Punxsutawney Phil have predicted 107 forecasts of more winter and 20 early springs. There are 9 years without any records, and even the Punxsutawney Area Chamber of Commerce, which keeps track of these things, does not know what happened to Phil during those years. Data from the Storm Facts Almanac's data shows that Phil's 6-week prognostications have been correct about only 39% of the time. Phil does a shadow poorer than you check his performance against actual weather outcomes since 1969, when the accuracy of weather records is less in question, said Tim Roche, meteorologist at Weather Underground. From 1969 on, Phil's overall accuracy rate dropped to about 36% from 39%. The groundhog's powers of prognostication are simply better than when he does not see his shadow, though. When Phil predicted a short winter, he was much more likely to be right, Roche previously said. Out of the 15 times that he did not see his shadow and predicted an early spring, he got it right 7 times. That's a 47% accuracy rate. The poor animal. I guess, people are just having fun, obviously. This year, it seems Phil may not have meteorology completely on his side, according to AccuWeather meteorologists, who said this morning, quote, "While there is still plenty of winter weather in the pipeline, the light is starting to appear at the end of the tunnel, with the arrival of spring right around the corner," end quote. AccuWeather, for interest, forecast says that Arctic storms pummeling the Northeast and Midwest could come to a halt by March 1st, the beginning of meteorological spring, though in late March and April, those regions could see some cold spells and even snowstorms. So how does Phil stack up against human forecasters? Quote, "If Punxsutawney's Phil is right 39% of the time, that's much worse than a climatological prediction," end quote. Roche said, "Even if you flip a coin, you still will be right close to half of the time. That's 50% accuracy. So you'd better off flipping a coin than going to the groundhog's predictions." Oh, that's really cruel. Now, to rule out the possibility that Roche just has a thing against groundhogs, we checked Phil's performance with David Unger, meteorologist at the National Weather Service. It looks like Phil, probably the groundhog, will not be getting a job at the NW anytime soon either. It's extremely difficult to give an estimate of how accurate climate predictions are, Unger said, but compared to the terms with which Groundhog Day predictions are made, which are if the weather will be mild or not mild, then if our forecasts are about 60% accurate or higher, then we consider that to be a good estimate. So there you go. The statistics suggest you probably should not delay that spring cleaning based on Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog's forecast. And then again, what do you expect? Phil is a groundhog after all. The poor thing. It's just fun. It's just nice winter fun, I think. That's fantastic. And they're so cute. This is on Live Science. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.